Hey y'all, it's been a minute. And by a minute, I mean 5 months. I will tell you what we actually did and used and the stuff that it just completely fell apart, fell by the wayside. I am back today. I have taken a very long and unintentional hiatus from YouTube. I missed y'all. I missed being here in this space and making videos and content. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you who has stuck around and been along for the ride. If you're new here, my name is Kaela, aka the worst YouTube homeschool mom. I love to use this channel to share homeschool resources with you guys. I specifically lean towards secular curricula and resources, so that is the majority of what I share. I also just love chatting mom life around here. So if this sounds like a place where you want to stick around, I would love that. Be sure and click the subscribe button and turn notifications on so that you'll be notified when I make a new video, whenever that is. So I really want to update you guys on what's been going on in our homeschool for the 2022-2023 school year. I know a lot of you are wrapping up your year. Many of you that follow that more traditional school calendar, you are almost done. You are wrapping things up, finalizing things, finishing curricula, and that's super exciting. For us, on the other hand, I would say that we are going to actually be wrapping up levels of things, grade levels. It's all going to kind of be at different times, but for the most part, we should have wrapped everything by June or July. Basically, I knew it was going to be just kind of all over the place because we were adding a new baby to the mix. And I'm actually really glad that I was realistic in that way because it has been a challenging school year for us with the new baby. We did keep a routine and some sort of consistency. So, yay for us. I feel proud of that. That being said, I went back and watched my curricula choice videos for the 2022-2023 school year. I had myself a good laugh. I was very optimistic and very overzealous in what I thought we could cover in this past school year. So let's go through just a few little snippets together and I will tell you what we actually did and used and the stuff that it just completely fell apart, fell by the wayside. Hey y'all, it's curriculum week. So I really love my nails in all of these videos. That's all I'm thinking about is my nails and how terrible they look right now. So this is our family pics video. Of course, my girls are on different levels with their language arts, their math, core things, skill-based things like that. But when it comes to content areas like geography, social studies, history, science, art, music, we cover those family style. So I don't really have a specific curricula that is just for geography. We don't use a formal geography curricula, and we never have, and we didn't this year, and we still covered a ton of geography because we have map work in our history, cover geography in our literature studies, in our science. Like, geography is, to me, one of the easiest things to not have a formal program for because you're going to be covering it in other areas. That's my opinion. But there is a resource that we've been using for a couple of years now, and we still... So I do mention the Atlas crates from KiwiCo. Y'all, it's a good thing I'm not affiliated with KiwiCo because I would have been fired a long time ago. We have had these boxes in my house for so long, and okay, the baby is here. You want to be in the video too? Yeah, she does. She wants to talk. We've had this KiwiCo Atlas subscription for like 2 years, maybe 3 years. They pile up in my house. It is not that I don't love them. It is not that I don't want to use them. We just get so busy and caught up with other things that we forget to use them. That is something that I really want to change in the upcoming school year. So, okay, so moving on to history. I've already talked about this extensively, but we will be continuing on with History Quest Early Times. Okay, so this we have continued with History Quest Early Times. We are almost done with it. It's taken us a lot longer than just 36 weeks or 32 weeks or however long is in their schedule. We've been working on it for like a year and a half because we do a lot of starts and stops and we do deeper dives than what their schedule allots for. I still love it though. I think it's a great program and we're going to keep on keeping on with History Quest. Blossom and Root Science Year 2. Okay, I'm going to make a whole separate video probably on Blossom and Root because after 3 years of using Blossom and Root in some form, in some fashion, we're probably not going to be using them anymore, at least in the foreseeable future. So there's going to be a whole separate video on that. What I will say is that we are almost finished with the Wonders of the Plant and Fungi Kingdom, which is their level 2 for science. We did it on an accelerated path because we started science really late in the year. I don't think we started science until like December. This particular level has been very underwhelming for us, but I still wanted to get as much benefit as I could out of it. So we did an accelerated schedule and kind of took what we wanted and what we needed from it. And yeah, we're almost finished with it. The main curricula that I have picked out for Spanish is Beautiful Mundo Level 1. So Spanish was a flop last year. And Spanish was a flop this year. I have not touched Beautiful Mundo. I have everything prepped. It's all beautiful. I got the student workbooks printed for each of my girls, and we just never got to it. Like, we never got to it. That's gonna change. I am still planning on using Beautiful Mundo. I just haven't used it yet. I'm disappointed that we haven't pulled it out at all. I still think it's gonna work and be a good fit for us. It's really just a matter of scheduling. I really tried to fit too many things in this past year, and this was one of the things that went to the back burner, and we just haven't pulled it out yet. I still have it. I still want to use it. The other Spanish resource that I want to try is Spanish 1 by a company called Homeschool Languages. So Homeschool Languages, I never even ordered it. My plan was, let's get into a good routine with Beautiful Mundo, and then I'll order that and we'll have that as a supplement. And because we never got into a good routine with Beautiful Mundo, why am I gonna like throw more money at Spanish when we don't have time? I just never ordered it. I still really want to. I still really want to try it. Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about that. Blossom and Root Language Arts. Okay, so Blossom and Roots, Language Arts, we did this. This was one of the things that we were really consistent with this past year, and one of the things that we really, really loved. This was the year 1 literature. It's mostly picture books. It's all picture books. There's no chapter books. A lot of it was stories based around like character building, different qualities like courage, kindness, a lot of like folklore, myths, fairy tales. We really enjoyed it. We really loved it. I did not use this program the way that it was designed or written. And I'll probably talk more about that when I do my Blossom and Root update video. We are almost finished with this level. I think we have maybe like 6 or 8 more weeks of it left. I definitely appreciated this revised version of year 1 with Blossom and Root Lit. It was a completely different program from the year 1 lit that I had originally tried in 2020. It was a good choice. It was worth revisiting it after the revision. So I will be pulling from 2 different books for poetry. Okay, so we have not used those poetry books. Didn't get to it. Didn't use them. Still want to use them. Didn't get to it. We really didn't do a whole lot of formal poetry this year at all. We did less poetry this school year than we had done the year prior. I think the reason being that this past school year we did a lot more vocabulary study as part of our morning time. We call it heart time. And that just kind of took the place of reading poetry. I miss reading poetry. I want to get back to it. And I still think that those are resources that we will enjoy and use, but we just haven't done it yet. Some vocabulary resources. Okay, so this stuff for vocabulary, partially a hit, partially not. This book right here, The Word of the Day, has been super fun. There's so much that I like about it. It's quite literally a word of the day. So when you go through, you start each month of the year, and then it will go through January 1st, January 2nd, and so on. There's a word for every single day of the year. And then at the end of the month, before you start a new month, there's a story of the month. There's a QR code where you can hear the story read aloud. And that story will sort of be a review of all of the new words that you learned in that month, or at least most of them put into context in the story, which is so cool. There's also some weeks where you'll have sort of a themed page like this, where you're going to be learning about words that are specifically from certain parts of the world, words that have to do with archaeology, words that have to do with weather, food words. I wouldn't say that this book is like an actual vocabulary curricula. It doesn't really go into the etymology or the roots of any of these words. All it does is it will tell you the word, the pronunciation of the word, a really brief definition of the word that's definitely kid friendly. This was definitely a success and a hit for us. It was a fun part of our morning routine, our heart time, as we call it around here. There were a couple of things that I didn't love about the book. There were definitely some pages that didn't apply to us, just like certain themes around certain holidays, stuff like that. But overall, I still think that we've enjoyed this and we'll probably keep it around and keep using it. This book, Once Upon a Word, I was really excited for it. I still think it's a good resource. When I actually started looking at this, I realized that the way that it's designed and laid out would actually be better for an older kid. I would say upper elementary, probably more like middle school though. So this is something I'm going to keep around and maybe come back to it when my girls are a little bit older. Okay, let's see what else I got over here. Okay, Woven Melodies. This is another curricula that I stand behind. It's been a hit for us. Again, as with so many of these like electives, extra things, content areas, we're just not great at being consistent with them. We really enjoy the videos. We enjoy learning about the instruments. We enjoy learning about the composers. It's just not something that we get to consistently every single week. But we are very close to finishing it. Art Everywhere by Harcourt Books. Okay, so Art Everywhere by Harcourt Art. It's been a hit. We really like it. I love that it really does the work for me. Like, if I wanted to just hand that book to my kid and say, like, go cover this lesson and do the art project, they could do it on their own. I don't do that because we enjoy doing it together, but that's a possibility. That's an option. It's literally written to the student. And also, again, we haven't been super consistent with it, so we haven't gotten very far into it. But overall, this was a really good pick for our family, and I think we'll probably keep using it next year. I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, just in case I see something else that looks better, but I really liked this program, and I do have all the books, so there's that. The Dash into Happy book series. Okay, so social emotional learning, Dash into Happy. We love these books. We used them a lot this past school year. The last few weeks, we haven't really been pulling them out because we kind of covered it. I'm going to be saving them and holding on to them to use with my baby later on, because I think that they're just a really nice resource to have. But as of right now, we're kind of done with them. We did add in another resource for social emotional learning that I shared about on Instagram. Those are our Evan Moore Heart and Mind workbooks. We really have been enjoying those. I got one at level for each of my girls, and those have been a fantastic fit for us. Empowering cards for kids. Okay, so the empowering cards, we have those on our morning shelf for our morning time, heart time routine. I would say maybe once a week, maybe twice a week we do one. I actually hole punched ours to put them on a ring so that we could just kind of flip through them. They are kind of young for my girls. They're definitely fun and engaging, and my girls seem to enjoy them, but I can also see on their faces that sometimes they're like, this is a little cheesy, a little too kiddish for the level that they're at. So yeah, I'm not really sure what to do with these right now. I need to kind of sit down and chat with my girls and see if they want to keep these around or if they kind of want to swap it out for something else. Those Evan Moore Heart and Mind workbooks do have like affirmations and sort of self-esteem building activities in the workbooks. So this, on top of that, feels a little bit redundant for us. But if you're trying to get started with social emotional learning, and if you have a little kid, I would say like toddler, pre-K, kinder, I think these are really great for young kids around that age. Okay, so that was all of the group subject stuff that I had planned for the year. So now let's take a look at what I had picked for third grade. She will start with All About Reading Level 4. So far, so good. All About Reading is the gift that keeps giving in our homeschool. My daughter is about halfway done with level 4 of All About Reading. And honestly, the only downside is that this is the last level, level 4, and then she's done. I kind of wish that All About Learning Press had another program for higher elementary to sort of graduate into after you finish All About Reading. But alas, that is not the case at this point in time. We are going to be trying EIW, or Essentials in Writing. Okay, guys, moment of truth. I didn't even buy it. I did not even buy it. After I filmed this, I was really so confident in that choice. I had done so much research. I had talked to other mamas about EIW and also other writing curricula, other grammar programs. I really felt confident in this choice. And then I started to second guess myself. I did sign up for the free trial with EIW, which is a fantastic option that so many curricula publishers offer. If you're thinking of trying something new, especially something that is going to be a big financial investment, definitely check if they offer a free trial. It doesn't make any sense not to take advantage of those. So I signed up for a free trial of EIW levels 1 through 4. I just kind of wanted to see what that scope and sequence looked like over those first 4 levels. I know that this is a great program. I have friends who really love this program. And for what I was looking for in an approach to writing and grammar, it just didn't check all of the boxes. It checked some of them, but not all of them. It was just kind of underwhelming, to be honest, especially for that price tag and that investment. So we did not purchase it. We did not continue with it. And I'm probably going to have to make a whole nother video on writing and sort of my thought process and where we're headed. The Daily Paragraph Editing Workbook from Evan Moore. Okay, so the daily paragraph editing, we did finish. My kid really enjoyed it. There was some content in there that I found to be a little bit problematic, and so whenever we came across something like that, we just skipped over it. I think that's a pretty common issue with a lot of these workbooks, especially if they're older and haven't been revised recently. Each week in the book, they're covering a different content area, and so they're editing paragraphs about that content and then writing their own paragraph about that content. I think that these books are a great supplement and a great way to practice and reinforce grammar, reading comprehension, editing skills, obviously. They do teach a little bit of writing skills. It's not as explicit or as scaffolded as it really needs to be, but I don't think that that's the intention of these workbooks. They are not meant to be like a full writing and grammar curricula. They're really a supplement. I'm not sure that we will pick these up again in the future just because they might be redundant with the direction that we're headed. There is one more little supplementary thing that I want to bring on for grammar. Okay, so I actually have this book right in front of me, The No Nonsense Guide to Grammar. I really like this book, and I think for the price, this is just a really good resource for me to have in my homeschool library. I don't think it's essential or necessary for everyone to have it, but I've really enjoyed having it on hand. It's just super clear and easy to understand. And I did find myself pulling this off the shelf several times this past school year. 52 picture writing prompts for kids. Okay, so this workbook my daughter really likes. Again, with writing and with grammar, I feel like I was kind of just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. This is not going to teach your kids how to write. It's not meant for that. It's not a writing curricula. It is a supplement. It's practice. It's for fun. It's an extra resource to sort of get their creative writing juices flowing. And for that, for what it's intended for, it does a really good job. My daughter really has enjoyed it. It's not something we do every day. It's not something we do every week. And I'm sure that she'll keep working through it little by little. This is not something that she's going to have completed the whole workbook in one school year, which is totally fine because it's just a fun extra thing. 180 days of spelling and word study. I ended up getting level 3 for my older daughter, and then I got the level K for my younger daughter. This is very open and go. She does it completely independently, just like 1 page a day or a few pages a week. I've seen huge improvements in her spelling. It's been awesome, no complaints. And we're probably going to use it again next year because we really like it. Writing poetry with children, and this is designed for grades 1 through 6. Okay, Evan Moore, writing poetry with children. Never got it, never used it. It just, poetry in general just got pushed to the back burner this school year. Okay, so Zayner Blozer handwriting. My 3rd grader finished all of level 2C. And I haven't picked up level 3. I don't know if I'm going to pick up level 4. Because my kid has really good handwriting. Like, she has better handwriting than me, her dad, most adults I know. She has beautiful print. She has beautiful cursive. She is an artist and penmanship comes naturally to her. She feels like doing a handwriting book is a waste of her time, and I don't really have a whole lot of evidence otherwise. So I don't know. What do y'all think about this? Is 3rd grade way too early for me to think that she doesn't need a handwriting book anymore? So I am going to be picking up the entire 3rd grade level with Singapore Dimensions. Okay, so for math, nothing's changed for 3rd grade. We are almost finished with all of 3A from Singapore Dimensions. She'll go right into 3B and hopefully finish over the summer. But if not, that's okay. We'll just keep chugging along with it until she's ready to start level 4. For logic, I actually already have something on hand. I have this workbook here. So my 3rd grader finished that book, Critical Thinking, the logic book. She finished it. It was fine. She enjoyed it. Logic is another thing that I'm considering dropping altogether. I'm not sure that it's really necessary, especially for my older daughter. They get a lot of that logic practice, critical thinking practice in other resources that we use. Singapore Dimensions does such a fantastic job of developing critical thinking and problem solving. And yeah, I'm just not sure that we need something else on top of that. My motto for the upcoming school year is going to be to simplify, simplify, simplify. Because as you can see, we did a lot and it wasn't even all that I had planned or that I thought we were going to cover. That's telling me that I'm overthinking and I'm wanting to do too much. And I really need to just like focus and hone in on what's most important. Okay, so that is all for 3rd grade. Let's go and see how we did for the kindergarten hybrid 1st grade. I think that using the test book will be a great way to review the math that she has learned this past year and also give her extra practice. Okay, so this was a good decision. I did do the K test book for her. Really, the way that the test books in Singapore Dimensions are designed is you're supposed to be using them alongside the regular workbook and textbook. And I didn't do that for this level because I wasn't sure that we needed the tests for kindergarten. From now on, I am going to be getting the test books for every level, and I will be using them alongside the regular lessons because I just feel like they're so well done and they do add a lot of value to the math curricula. They add that extra practice, that extra review. They present the information and the concepts in a slightly different way. And it really helps me to see that my child has a good level of mastery. The 1A workbook from Beast Academy. Okay, so we did not use anything from Beast Academy. I never purchased that. I just don't feel like it's necessary to supplement math at this point. Dimensions is working so well for both of my girls, and I don't see like any huge gaps that I need to fill. I know that there's gaps in every education and in every subject. It's impossible to learn all the things, but I don't see any glaring gaps for math where I'm like, oh, we need to throw something else at this. We need to supplement. We need to do more games, more activities. Dimensions is more than enough for us. I don't even use everything that's provided in Dimensions, so I definitely don't feel the need to do Beast Academy or any other supplementation, at least not at this point in time. She did the test book for Dimensions level K and she moved right into 1A. Math is good. Not going to touch math. After doing a little bit of research, I decided on this book. It's called Can You Find Me? Okay, so she flew through this logic book. Like, she finished it in maybe 2 months. It was really fast. I was thinking that this would last like a whole school year, and it did not. We loved this workbook. I know that I just said that I'm thinking of like dropping logic, and I am. But if I were to recommend a logic workbook for early elementary, this one would be it. I love the way that the pages are laid out. The graphic design is very simplistic and minimal, which I think is important for kids. It doesn't overwhelm them with a ton of text and images, but the images that it does have are still colorful and engaging. She loved it. Like every time we'd pull it out, she would want to do page after page after page. She didn't want to put it down. And yeah, it was a success. Continuing with All About Reading Level 1. She's currently about halfway through it. Okay, so Margaret is still using All About Reading Level 1. She's almost finished with it. I think she has 5 more lessons in Level 1. That was a huge success this past school year. She is reading so much more now. She's picking up books on her own. Even when she comes across words that are not decodable to her yet, like she has not learned how to decode these words, she's making an effort to do so. And she's reading words with remarkable accuracy that are way above her reading level. My husband and I are just sitting and enjoying having another new reader in the house. Teaching your kid to read is so challenging, and it's a process that takes years, right? It takes a lot of time and energy and commitment. But when you start to see the fruits of your labor, it's one of my favorite things about home education. I love it. That moment when it finally clicks and they start picking up books and they feel confident, it's one of the best feelings to be able to help your child get to that point. So, yay for All About Reading. Very excited for her. She'll be wrapping this up soon and moving right into level 2. We will be trying out Dash into Reading. Dash into Reading. I haven't gotten them yet. I'm still going to get these. I still really, really want to have these in our home library. I think that Margaret will enjoy having more decodable readers at her disposal that are colorful and beautiful. But yeah, I still want to have these. I still want to have them on hand. So we're gonna make that happen. She is almost finished with her Zahner Bloser kindergarten level handwriting book. Okay, so for handwriting, she did finish all of the Zahner Bloser level K. And I recently saw that Dash into Learning makes handwriting books now too. Again, I never got the Dash into handwriting books. I might still pick them up and have her try them out for the remainder of this school year. Okay, so this grammar bundle from Teachers Pay Teachers was something else that I just didn't pick up. We have honestly not done any formal grammar this year at all. I already showed you this book, The No Nonsense Guide to Grammar. This is something that I've been pulling out and reading through with both of my daughters just as things come up in sort of a very unschooly, organic fashion. That is the extent to which we have covered grammar this school year. I do have some different plans for grammar coming up. So yeah, I'm not sure that we'll actually end up trying this out. Super affordable, it's open and go, and it looks relatively easy and simple to implement. Okay, so this is what I've already mentioned and touched on, the 180 Days of Spelling and Word Study. She is wrapping up this book for level K. Most of the time, she just does these pages independently. I will have them ripped out and ready for her in her clipboard, and that's part of her independent work. Okay, that's it. We finally got through everything. I feel like there's a lot of wins here, but there's also a few things that are a little disappointing. I mean, that's what home education is. You can have all the plans in the world, but then life happens or things don't work for your kid or you the way that you expected. That's all just part of this journey. It's constantly evolving and changing. I have quite a few videos that are in the works and in my head, some unboxings, some first looks and flip throughs, and then later on, as we get more experience with things, some more thorough, detailed reviews for you guys. And of course, I'll be sharing our plans and curricula picks for next school year in the coming weeks. Obviously, the curriculum pick videos, like, things don't always pan out the way that you think they will when you make those. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, we're going to make them anyway. And then maybe next year we'll do this again and we'll see how much we actually got right. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy this content, I hope that you'll consider giving it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear how your school year is going. If you have any questions for me at all, I am happy to answer them down there as well. All right, y'all, until next time, bye-bye.